This video, I'm just going to talk about my XF Falcon ute I've got behind me and do an oil change. This is one of the XFs I've got. It's in Perth, WA. I've had it for probably 2 years, I think. It's generally my daily, but I just put fuel in it before for the second time since November, as the wife's been home more at the same time as me, so I've been driving her car. But petrol's getting cheaper than diesel, so drive that. My other one, so this one anyway is a 91 XF ute. It's just got super low king springs in the front, 4-inch reset leaves in the back, 2.5-inch pipe, and it's on US mags Indies, 15 baits, -12, with 2 1.5s on the front and 2 6.5s on the back. Other than that, she's all original, all working aircon and all that, which cost me $2,000 last year to get that working, but that could have been some videos in itself. Dashed out twice. Not much to add on it. It's a standard 250 3-speed column auto, carby, and yeah, it's just lowered wheels, and it's got just a King's 30-litre fridge in the back with a 60 amp hour lithium battery and a DC charger, so it's always cold beers on the road. The other one that I can make videos on is a 87 XF Fairmont Silver that I bought coming on 12 years ago. It's been an ongoing project. It's a factory EFI 250, which I lowered, put on the same wheels as this, but 14 baits and eagers, 14 bait tridents. It's been through a few phases. Standard EFI and auto, and then rebuilt the motor EFI manual with a cam, didn't like it, with a car didn't. Changed it to a Mega Square ECU, and then I was like, oh, this will be better with a turbo, so turboed the standard motor, made 300 horsepower, overheated it, killed it, and then rebuilt it with forged spool imports, HB rods, SPS pistons, ARP stud kit through the whole thing, all from Tunnel Vision, who sent that to New Zealand for me, with a T5 manual and a custom built turbo manifold for it, a China GT35 1000cc Bosch injectors, full Haltech 750 ECU, wiring loom, IC7 digital dash. So yeah, that's been sitting in New Zealand doing nothing. And I've got this sitting here. What I was planning to do was get the New Zealand one over here, but the Australian government was like, nah, not happening. So in that plastic container over there is now all the Haltech dash ECU wiring loom. The turbo motor is out of the Fairmont. It's sitting on a pallet to come here. And I've got a 302 Cleveland that my dad's rebuilding for me at the moment. It's all got just rings, bearings, pumps. I had it hot tanked, cam bearings done. I've got a 600 Holly 4-barrel manifold, and then obviously full gasket set, everything. That's going to end up back in that New Zealand car, so just a 302 freshened up with a 600 4-barrel. It's going to have still the T5 5-speed behind it, with a Castlemaine rod shop bow housing. And currently from the turbo setup, it's got a 3-inch fucking mandrel bend exhaust, so it'll be 2-into-1 3-inch the whole way, just as a cruiser. And then this ute here behind me, which I'll show you, will end up with the turbo crossflow and all the Haltech gear, which is now, since it was last dynoed, at 300 kilowatt, 410 horsepower, and 1,015 Newton meters. I've had custom alloy welding over an Mountizer, make up a front-facing plenum for it as well, so very interesting to see what that can do. And that was only tuned previously on 95. Obviously in WA here I've got access to 98 and E85, so it'll be interesting. So this is the ute here. It is no show pony, it's been a workhorse. Paint's a bit rough around the edges. She's wobbly down the sides there, but she's good from far from good. Don't want it too nice, otherwise I wouldn't use it, but that's how she sits pretty good. The 15 baits all round. It's got spotties on it because I have a block which I'm building a 112 square metre shed on down in Boddington, and there's obviously kangaroos that way. I had a tailgate panel painted for it because the original was buggered. So this one came off an XG at the Wreckers, and then I swapped a panel bead of the standard wheels off this to do a new gate. Yeah, that's what she looks like. All pretty tidy, unknown Ks. The electrics in these are a bit dodgy and the odometer doesn't always work, but it's the interior, benchy, column. I put carpet in it, underlay, because it did have vinyl flooring and would get extremely hot. And it's got a 2.5 inch cat back exhaust. I believe it's 2.5. Done by Peel Exhaust in Mandurah. It was a good price too, about $300 I believe. So yeah, that's her. But it's been over a year since I had a birthday, so I thought I'd shoot down to Supercheap and grab some oil and a filter. So both my crossfires I always just chuck in the Penrite HPR 30 2060. And today I thought I'll try a Penrite filter. This is pretty well all I'll be using. So I've got the 5 litres of oil, service refill I believe is 4.5 litres. I always just pour in the whole 5. New Penrite filter, some brake clean to tidy up the mess, and copper washers, and 19mm socket. Oil drain tray, trolley jack, and obviously some axle stands down there. Which is pretty straightforward in these things. Here's the engine bay in it. It's pretty tidy. Can't complain for, what are we? It's 35 years old. I've spent a fair bit of time under here. Rocket cover gasket 2 times, alternator, aircon pump, aircon condenser, electric fan, all new aircon hoses, dash out twice for the evaporator. All the shit jobs. Just a few weeks ago, had the power steering box out. That was pouring out fluid, had that rebuilt. Put it back in, went to work for a week, come back, no fluid left again, and it was all leaking out of the pump. So that was yesterday's job, pump off, new seal kit back on. Seems to be good so far. But it's a bit of effort in keeping these old things as daily drivers, but it's fun. I like driving it. Pretty much driven XFs for the last 15 years. I'm 30 now, coming on 31, and I got my first one when I was 16 at high school. I've had 7, so fair to say I like driving around in them. So I'm just going to start by undoing the filler cap so it can drain easy. Obviously that can pull air and displace the oil. Then I'll jack it up, chuck it on some axle stands. So you crack the sump plug, and then these oil filters are pretty accessible on these, even from the bottom. So I'll spin that off, let it drain for a while. Pour the 5 litres in it. Start her up, check for oil pressure, and it should be good to go for another year. Just while I'm down here with the oil draining, I've got the filter off. Good thing to point out with these is to make sure that the O-ring is still stuck to the old one. You don't want to go screwing a new one on with the old O-ring on, because all the oil will screw out in between them. I had a mate back in New Zealand one time. He had it was a VK Commodore wagon with an LD28 Nissan diesel in it, and he rang us up one day. And he's like, I've just done an oil change on my car and there's oil going everywhere. We're like, check the old filter that you pulled off and see if it's got an O-ring on it. Nope, it's still stuck to the motor. So he pulled the filter back off and pulled off the old O-ring, and yeah, it was good after that. But no, it's nice and accessible, everything in here. Filter was just up there. I managed to wind it off without getting hot oil all down my arm or making too much of a mess, and I was pretty much able to catch everything that was coming out of the filter in this other end of the drain tray at the same time. So I'll just leave this for another 10 minutes and let that keep draining. There's still a slow trickle coming out. And I'll spin another filter on. I've got some new copper washers for the sump plug because this is an old aluminium one and it is pretty buggered. It was weeping a little bit. And then yeah, I'll put those both in. Probably put it back down on the ground and top it up. While I'm here, I'll also suggest this torch I'm using. My father-in-law actually had one and I was like, that is brilliant, from here in Forbes. It's real bright. You can move it all around different directions. Plenty of settings. That's the main one. It's got that red one on the end. And the tip's magnetic, which I use to pick up bolts and whatnot, but it's magnetic up there. It's got a magnetic mount on the bottom, handy as, or it's also you can also clamp it onto things. When my dad came over from New Zealand at one point last year, he's a mechanic, he was like, yeah, that is good, so we shot off to here in Forbes and got him one as well to take back home. But they are very handy. I can put that back to the main setting. Which definitely puts out enough light, and I think they're around $50. Pretty good. Here's the new Penrite oil filter. It's a Z9 equivalent, Ryco. Can't say I've used one yet, but I've seen them online. I always use Penrite oil, so might as well give the filter a go. They're only worth, like, I think it was $11.99. It's super cheap. So I've just pulled that out of the packet, opened up the oil, and rubbed some fresh oil onto the O-ring. Whether that's meant to be good practice in the technical books, I don't know, but my dad's a mechanic and he's always told me to do it, so I'll do it. Now the new filter's on, sump plug's back in with a new copper washer. I'm about to put it down on the ground, but I thought before I do that I'd quickly snug up all the transmission oil pan bolts, as last year, probably about a year ago, I had the pan off doing a kickdown cable as it was all seized up. Give it full throttle in the car and then the kickdown cable would pull up, and instead of dropping back down it would bunch up in the engine bay. So yeah, it's been a year. I thought I'd check those bolts, make sure they're snugged up. Obviously it's a cork gasket in that, which crush. So yeah, at the time when I did that, I did obviously like a service kit, a new trans filter, new fluid, new gasket, and yeah, it's been bloody excellent actually. It's driven better than it ever has with a new throttle cable as well, because that was also stretched. I figured out, I thought it was the dullest XF I'd ever driven. It was only getting to half throttle. It wasn't even opening the secondary. So between doing the throttle cable and then the kickdown cable, it is pretty good now. It's quite fun to drive, pretty peppy. And while I'm under here, here's the exhaust that the shop in Mandurah did. So it was about 300 odd bucks or something. Can't complain. It's only like crush bends, no mandrel bends, but I mean, who cares? I'm not going for performance. It sounds pretty good and looks a lot better than just the old pea shooter coming out the back, so can't complain. Interesting fact though, the New Zealand ones don't have cats. As I said, I've had like 7 of these, and when I went to the shop to get this done, I hadn't been under it yet, and he's like, yeah, we'll just do cat back. And I'm like, cat? What do you mean cat? And he was like, I was like, does it have a cat? And he's like, what's a fucking XF, isn't it? And I'm like, oh yeah. And I've had about 6 of them before this, and none of them have had them. So it's obviously different compliance rules around emissions for the New Zealand new ones versus the Australian delivered ones. So yeah, this has got a cat. It's my only XF that's ever had it. So anyway, yeah, there's the exhaust. and the reset leaves in the back, which get it sitting pretty good. It's got Munro shocks all around as well, which the person I bought it off had put it in because it had just gone over the pits when I bought it to get re-registered. So yeah, let's look underneath anyhow. Well, that's the whole 5 litre of the Penrite 2060 extra 10 full zinc poured in there. That extra zinc is good, I believe, for flat tappet camshafts. I had a few new cams now, 2 in my 250, and then there's another new one going in my 302. And they all tell you to use a ZDDP, like zinc additive for running, and then run them on a zinc based oil to try and prevent the lifters wiping out lobes on the camshaft. So for the extra little bit of money, I'll just buy it. So now that that's full, there's nothing dripping out the bottom. I feel pretty confident in putting it down on the ground. I'll start it up, make sure the oil pressure light turns off, and then it'll be good to go. I'll pour the old oil out of my container into this so it can go back to Super Cheap or wherever. I know most of those places take it. You can drop it off there and they'll dispose of your waste oil. Obviously the filter will just go straight in the wheelie bin. Make sure I clean up any of my mess on the ground, which is easy obviously with having a tarp on the ground. Yeah, so hopefully there won't be many videos in this garage. I've got, as I say, just shy of a 4 acre block, an hour and a half from here, southeast of Perth, Boddington. Currently building a decent sized shed, 7 metres deep and 16 metres wide, so 112 square metres and just shy of 4 metres to the apex. So I've had concrete done in one of the bays, done thicker for a 2-post hoist, so I can carry on with my projects. So as I say, yeah, this will be getting the turbo motor sent over. I've got a C4 for it sitting down here on the shelf to bolt it up to us with a 6-cylinder bell housing, which is going to get built. It's going to obviously be manual valve body because they normally use a vacuum, like a vacuum regulator kind of thing, instead of a kickdown cable or a transmission pressure cable. So it'll be manual valve body, the turbo 250 going in, all the Haltech gear, Haltech dash, you name it. Obviously, I don't know, potentially I'm thinking maybe an XG or an XH fuel tank can go in this, so it's got a factory injected tank to fit into the original space. Yeah, should be right, hopefully. Engineering, don't know, it's already registered. There's no roadworthies in WA. Never been pulled up yet in 4 years of living here, so might just keep it on the hush. No, it should be a lot better anyway. Doing videos down there, and then my wife and I are into camping. We've got a little 10-foot MDC off-road caravan and a Ford Ranger. I just put a new set of tyres on the other day. The price of diesel's going to be a bit average, but we've still said that over winter we'll head up the coast, up north of it, Exmouth. That Ballara station just got smashed by Cyclone Narelle, which I got to be part of last week in Karratha, or sitting in my room in Dampier. It was pretty windy, but we didn't get hit like them. So we may do the one channel, start up second channel if that goes well. She wants a drone and do a bit of both, but there'll be some car stuff going on, camping stuff, potentially more shed building stuff. I think that's where my GoPro is, down there in the caravan. I was going to make videos and didn't, just got carried away trying to build. That's almost at the stage of getting the roof on, and then I can carry on building the walls and framing out, standing up all the columns and pillars and whatever for the 3 roller doors and whatnot. Yeah. So yeah, it's back on the ground. Just check the level. It's a bit over full, as you'd expect. I put in the whole 5 litres, not 4.5. There's a ring from putting my bloody drain tray up there to get a video. That was a dumb idea. It's oil, but I can clean that off. So I'll give it a start, make sure she's all good, and then that'll be a wrap. I'll probably put up some photos of this, I reckon, when I bought it. And some of the other one, the one I've got in New Zealand, which I'll end up making some videos on next time I go back to New Zealand. Need to do a bit of shopping for it, need engine mounts. Well, the whole V8 engine mount conversion kit, the barrel housing, then I'm pretty well sorted. I'll have to get that in with the old man running, and then round to an exhaust shop to join up the exhaust manifolds to the exhaust, get it engineered or certified in New Zealand as we call it, and hopefully get it in a position that we can take it to Summernats, New Zealand next year. It's about this time next year up near Hamilton. I think it's called Mystery Creek, so I've already had a look. It's a 3,000k round trip. Should be a good break-in run for it. And then pack it up and come back to Australia and touch it again in another year. So, anyway, thanks for having a look. Oil change is done. For the next year, she should be good. Catch up. Turn off the aircon.